Hi everybody. I wanted to kind of hop on here and talk a little bit about watercolor palettes and traveling with your watercolors and a really fun and kind of creative way to make your own customized palettes. What you see here in front of you are all of these vintage tins that I've collected. Some of these I do have up on my Etsy shop. I think these two and this one. And the reason that I sell these on my Etsy shop is because I have just started quite a collection of these. Every time I go to a flea market, I usually, if I see one that's really cool, like this incense, this incense tin, I just really love it. Uh, I thought it would be cool to throw the extras up on Etsy and give everybody a shot at some of these. But you can see what I do with them. I make a little swatch card that goes on the inside, and then I fill them with half pans. You can buy these on Amazon. They're really inexpensive if you want to make your own. And then I just took some magnets, and they've got adhesive on the back, and put those right on there. There are half pans. The ones that I just recently ordered come with magnetic tape, if you want to call it magnetic tape. They come with the magnets that are already pre-cut and fit actually the entire size of the half pan, and they're not quite as thick as the ones that I have on here already, and they're a little bit stronger, so I'm glad I bought those. Something else I wanted to say is if you have a really shallow, like this one's kind of shallow, this is kind of, it's not really very deep, you have to be careful that you don't get really thick magnets, because you won't be able to shut the lid when you add the extra height to the bottom of the half pan. So that's really all you do is go shopping. It's really fun to go hunt for these. I found some really cool ones. This is great. I love this because it's hinged, so I could actually kind of use this as a little place to mix colors if I wanted to, and it holds quite a few. This is 2, 4, 6, this are 10 watercolors, so you can build yourself a really nice palette out of this with some, you know, maybe four cool, 4 warm, and maybe a couple of neutrals, a black and a white, and you'd be all set. So these are really fun, and you can pick these up really inexpensively, especially at flea markets. And usually if you have a whole pile and they're in your arms, you know, they'll cut you a deal anyway. So these are just a few I wanted to show you. This is a really nice one that I found. It's in great shape. You know, still can see all of the text on it. It was clean. It was very clean. When you do take these home and clean them, which I would suggest, use just like a mild soap and some warm water to clean these. Don't get crazy with like, you know, 409 or some sort of a degreaser, because you'll strip the paint right off of these, and then you lose all of the nice writing and the text and the picture or whatever. So, and steer away from magic erasers. I love magic erasers, but they will just take the paint right off. I've had that happen to me before. But if you're not into, if this is something that, you know, you think would take a little bit too much time and you really want to just have something quick and easy, they do sell these little mini watercolor palettes, and this is made by Prima Marketing, and Jane Davenport also has some. I really love these. These come in all different types of palettes. This is Vintage Pastel. I've got the Tropicals. I know there's Pastel Dream, which I have somewhere laying around here. Here we go. So there are quite a few. But these are kind of expensive too. They run about $30 a piece or so, and they're kind of heavy actually. And I think it's the actual palette themselves, the actual tin that these come in. And the reason that they're heavy is that you have these, and this is nice, you have these little flip out mixing trays basically, and it just adds weight. My suggestion would be that if you do purchase these, if you'd rather purchase these and you do plan on traveling, I would suggest maybe getting another 10. I have a larger vintage tin like this, and this would probably hold maybe 3 half pans, these pallets worth inside of here. So this is where I keep all of my metallic watercolors, and they have magnets on the bottom as well. I think I got some of these from Hydrocolor. I love this, but this is how I segregate my metallics. I know exactly where they are because they live in here. But you can very easily take these, all of the colors out of these. You just push back this little metal part and pop the half pans out, and then you can consolidate them all together in something a little bit bigger, and you won't have quite the weight then if you're throwing these in a tote bag or something, which I've done. Another suggestion, you may want to mark these, like which palette they came out of, so that when you take everything back out of your tin, you know exactly what palette they go back into. So that's a little helpful hint, because I've had the problem where I had to sort them and didn't know where they went. And then I ended up going through and swatch testing all of them, so which isn't a bad thing, but it's just a little bit time consuming. So if you like this idea, but you don't have any vintage tins and you want to kind of get started right away, my suggestion would be to order your half pans on Amazon and look for the ones that come with the magnets already. I think the bag I bought was maybe $8, and I think there are 48 half pans in there. You can always do something like this. Altoid tins are super cheap. You don't even have to paint it. The reason I painted this, and make sure you use spray paint, not an acrylic paint, because it will scratch off basically. You want something that's going to be durable, so use a spray paint, and they come in all sorts of decorative type. I did one with I did these in blue, and it was like a glitter blue also, and this is like a pearlescent pink. But I did these, I made these for a watercolor class that I taught, and these are a little bit dried out, but if I put some water with them, they're fine. These come, I made these with, I think I made this in Illustrator, and just pop these little cards in here for my class. These are koi watercolors out of the tube. I found them, I think I found them at Michael's, and I had a 40% off coupon, so it was really affordable. It was a good deal, and these palettes were really simple to make. You just squeeze your watercolor in there, let them dry, and then off you go. And you can, like I said, these will last you for a long time. You can constantly re-wet, and you can use this as your mixing tray. So it's really nice. They stay shut, and it's a good option. Something else that I did want to mention too is what I showed you in here. If you don't want to make your own watercolor palettes, but you like the idea of maybe collecting these vintage tins and putting some watercolor in here, you can always purchase these. So there are a lot of people, especially on Etsy, that make handmade watercolors. These just happen to be metallic, but you can find all sorts of handmade watercolors for sale, and they sell them usually by the half pan. And there are people that sell them by the full pan. They also sell them in sets and palettes and that kind of thing. So that's always an option as well if you don't want to do this yourself. So yeah, I thought I would just come on here and show you what I've been doing and why I have these up on my Etsy shop, and how easy it is actually to take your watercolors with you. Make sure that you invest in a couple of these. These are really great. I have a couple of different types of water brushes. These with the pink, I don't even know what brand this is, but these are, you just fill them, you just unscrew this, you fill the barrel with water and screw this back on, and they have different tips. This is a really small kind of fine tip, and I like these because the brushes are very kind of bouncy, I guess. And I would say, let's see, I have several different ones. These are made by Aqua Stroke, and some of them I like and some of them not so much. And the reason for that is that this one is nice. These are really easy to forward the water into the brush, but some of them are kind of difficult, and I don't know if it's just something that takes a little bit of, I wouldn't say like breaking in, maybe that the plastic kind of loosens up a little bit, but like these are really difficult, and I don't like to have to mash on something. And I've had, I've done that, and then a bunch of water has come out, and yeah, just wasn't working for me. These I've actually filled with watercolor. You can do that too, which is another option for traveling. You can make your own watercolors and then fill them in here, or you can put ink in here. Just kind of play around with stuff. But yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to kind of go through and show you what the different options were for traveling with your watercolors. And I hope this gets you out and inspires you to go pick up some tins and maybe hit a few flea markets. They're really fun, and you can pick these up really inexpensively. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.